Alright, welcome back to Let's Play SimCity 4 with me, X2X. Last time we had sort of an unsuccessful adventure in creating some high wealth locations, and so what we're going to do is we're going to come to Halifax here, and we're going to turn Halifax on and see if our buildings made any difference whatsoever. And it looks like not really, but we are getting some gigantic residential growth here. There we go. I was wondering if that might do it. Alright. So as you can see, we definitely have had some good growth in Halifax at least. And part of me wonders how we're doing on traffic, so let's check out our traffic. The only real problematic areas are the big intersections, which is fine. Air pollution's pretty bad. Water pollution is getting there, but we're still okay. And we do have a little bit of garbage. Not the worst I've ever seen. So we're going to drop down another pump. And then I'm going to... got this whole area to develop. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to wrap the rest of these neighborhoods around in roads. And take a look here. This bus stop is, yeah, a lot of people are using that bus stop there. Alright, and then... I think the first thing I'm going to do, because I think I'm going to build 2 residential donuts in this area. Donut? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I run here, it's 3 and 2. If I run here, it's 3 and 2, and it doesn't matter. I want to put... yeah. I want to put commercial. I think I'm going to put high density right here. All in this area. I don't know if that's going to turn out to be wise, but one of the things I think I probably need to do that I haven't done so far is to put some desirability buildings in the midst of these guys. I tend to forget recently, just because I haven't been playing SimCity in a long time, that sort of the parks and whatever matter. So we'll turn that on and see if it was a good decision. Of course, you always need to make sure stadium we're providing water, which we are. One of the reasons why I like to provide water ahead of time is because when I forget and then it doesn't grow, and then I have to figure out why it didn't grow. So we still have an overwhelming amount of commercial service demand, which the question is, I'm not sure if that commercial demand will ever actually go away. Nothing like having your office right next to the the recycling plant. Somehow I think that might just not work out very well. It's always important to remember to fill a couple of squares in your city with parks and whatnot. I tend to forget pretty heavily about it. Let's see, is that my high school? Yeah, I really would be willing to bet it is my high school. Oh, yeah, because my large elementary school is doing fine. Eventually, I'm going to need to build, what do you call that thing? University? And I'm going to need to build a bigger high school, but I think the bigger high school is going to be really problematic. These are all medium wealth residential zones. Let's take a look here. Yeah, the large high school is gigantic. does cover like 1 billion students. Some of these apartments are getting pretty sweet. Ryan's apartment's 5,000 people. It's always nice to have areas that have 5,000 sims. Let me draw back the bus funding a little bit. I'll probably ramp that up later. Alright, so now the next step, although I fear if I put a lot of high density residential right in this bottom corner here, I have a really strong feeling that my large elementary school won't be able to handle it. Let's go 1, 2. Let's go 5, then 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put 1 there. 2, 3, 4, 5. And put 1 there. Now the question I'm asking myself right here is, can I fit 3 in here? Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Any Sesame Street fans? That's pretty old school, from back in my childhood on the CBC, which is like, for Americans, I guess the CBC is like the CBC network's like NPR, National Public Radio, except on TV. Wow, I cannot believe that worked out perfectly. And for the Brits, my British friendsies, CBC is just BBC in Canada. I actually think I'm gonna route all of these guys, these 3 like residential cul-de-sacs to this road here. Even though it's just a double street, I think it's gonna work out better. And I gotta remember my bus stations, because there's a lot of them. It may be time, considering how wealthy this city is, to put down a subway as well. So we're gonna put these guys in, just like that. 4x4s. And then I'm gonna put in a 4x4 there, and there. These guys look a little goofy, but that's me. That was probably the worst goofy most of you have ever heard. And small parts. Just like that. Alright. Let's let these guys grow up and become big and tall. Growing city cries for more juice. Hey, unlock the zoo. Sweet. Relax, they're not mental midgets. We're importing garbage. Yeah, we're not going to be doing that anymore. And we're going to import more power. I may need to build a whole bunch of plants. Yeah, I'll just do 8,000 because this will be super profitable. So let's go back to our... Oh, that's inevitable, unfortunately. Jeez. Yeah, I had a feeling my elementary would not be able to handle the number of students. But there's not much I can do about that. And I do need another hospital, I forgot about that. I've lost not even sinking. And in truth, building it right there seems fine to me. Ooh, the research center. that should have alleviated some of the patients from this hospital, as well as I think probably some of the patients from this hospital. Yeah, we can draw back our medical funding. I'm just going to leave it at 3,000 because I plan on putting in a little bit more residential. So let's take a look here. Oh, I've almost fully exhausted the residential demands of this neighborhood, or of this area. That, or I've reached a cap because of some data that I'm not taking care of. Could definitely be crime. It could definitely be fire. Water and power is fine. It could be traffic, but considering how much green we have, I doubt it. Yeah, I somehow doubt it's education as well. Although I could afford to put down um, some of the, like the library and the museum. I could also put in the city college if I was really so inclined. I don't know where a good place for it to be would be though. It's a 5 ski. A 5 drop, as they would say in Magic. Looks like the jail, hey? You ever notice that? How these buildings look almost exactly the same? In fact, that is a jail, not a... Yeah, it is. Of course it is. Alright, so let's let that work a little bit. Ah, I forgot to... That may be the other thing that's hampering us too, is no airport. Yeah, I don't have much fire protection. Most of these guys, most of the people living in the city right now are, they're gonna be medium wealth Sims. And that's one of the reasons why, that's probably one of the big reasons. Oh, I really didn't want to build that, did I? Now we have to listen to this stupid chopper. Alright, well. One of the reasons why our manufacturing isn't growing as much as I'd like it to. Alright, I think the next thing, I think the big barrier for me right now I'm having is a low regional population. So I'm going to take a look at that. Even though we're at 111,000, that would be my guess as to where the problem is. I don't really want to turn this guy on until I think it's able to make a profit, especially considering how much water we need to import. I don't even remember. Will that be enough, do you think? It is enough. Oh, there's some growth. And of course we need more water. This is definitely all that commercial office growth that we have. Alright. So there's some things this city needs to handle, and I don't think we're at the point. I think I jumped the gun a little bit too quickly there. But okay, here's what we're gonna do. Let's build some low wealth cities, some small low wealth cities. Since you are like ridiculously profitable. Remember to always fund your garbage plants at 10. This is essentially what I'm doing here with these guys is I'm cheating the garbage system, and it's fine. Like if you don't like that, if you don't like the idea of like cheating SimCity, you don't have to. It's purely for this Let's Play that I'm doing that. Normally I'm a pretty legit player when I play SimCity. I try to use like the minimum possible cheats, but as it stands right now, what I want to do is I want to show you guys how you can be better. 12%. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to adjust the garbage sliders and bring in as much garbage as we can. That's one of the reasons why this city is so unbelievably profitable, are those garbage plants. Another reason you could build them is you make your industrial city much more... So I'm going to build 2 main avenues into... I want to make sure I build them right. So 2 main avenues into the cities that border over here. Because what I want to do is I want to fill those guys up with low wealth sims. I think I might do all 4, but we're going to start off in this city. And this is actually quite a small city. It's just going to be a little town. So we're just going to call it... Actually, I'm going to call this Dartmouth. I don't know how big Dartmouth is. I assume it's fairly large. And then industry doesn't matter because I'm not building any here. So this city's pretty straightforward. It's really a quarter. It's essentially what you're doing in this city, if you can imagine it, is you're building one of the square neighborhoods, is what we're going to try to do. Alright? So instead of subsecting this into 4, actually, you know what? I might do that. Because I think it might work out pretty good. Alright? 2, 3, 4, 5. So my goal here is to be able to build each of these square blocks to have their own things, but I don't want anything more than a high school, like basic medical. Any more than that's going to be too much and going to cause problems. And I don't think we'll need that much water and power. This one will have to be 3. Just a little one here. And we're going to route traffic predictably towards this avenue, not towards that avenue, which I think will work out better. Well, I hope it works out better. I don't actually know if it'll work out better or not. So nice big amounts of residential. Little bit of commercial, not much, just enough to have these guys, you know, a place to buy lunch, basically. Nothing more than that, really. All we're doing is building a couple of stores, place for them to spend the little bit of money they have. You know, essentially what you're building here, if you could make an allegory for, like real cities, is you're building Walmarts and like Home Depots and stuff. Alright, so that should cover us. I'll do one more of those just like that right down here. And the goal, if possible, the goal is to have about 30,000 people living here. I don't know if I'll get there. I'm going to build, as you can see, I've built medium and high density mixed together. And hopefully that will work out the way I want it to. I actually think I'm going to go like that because we're going to have to put in like a medical clinic, an elementary school. Ugh, same problem. Making Xbox grumpy. I guess I'll put one down there, and I'll see. Um, um, er, uh, um, uh, mm. Believe me, it's as annoying to me as it is to you guys. And maybe you don't believe me, but it really is. It really bothers me. It's kind of a sign of that I don't know what to say. And that's not the type of guy I am. I always know what to say. That's my many comments being like, you talk a lot. This would tell you. It's a moderated playthrough, ladies and gentlemen. Of course I talk a lot. Ah, yes. And as always, you have to remember to set up your taxation regime, which I already did. We just haven't hit play, so we jump. Gonna need to connect the social services up. From there, from Garbage Land into Dartmouth, as per usual. I think I'm not gonna worry about rerouting water. I think I'm just going to do it. If I have to, I'll buy water from Halifax and then bring it 2 cities over. That'll be sort of my fail-safe if everything goes kind of derpy there. We'll buy it, sell it. All right, time to hit play. So these guys should all be able to go up pretty quick. I left space for us to place our things down. We do not need that much medical funding at all. Alright. Neighbor deals. Will import. Not much water. Exporting garbage. Fine on power. Let's go. So my guess is that when we create all of these houses, we're going to need more jobs to get them to be as dense as I would like it to be. A grave, eh? That grave's going to be a really big pain in the butt. Because these guys are all going to be, essentially they're going to be all commuters. Oh. Don't mind me. I'm just flurba-derping. Now, do I not have enough water? Or did I just mess up that little bit? I think I have enough water. So maybe I need to go like that. That's a really big waste, but whatever. I'm not gonna fuss too much. Yeah, so my school's complaining. Max funding. My hospital's complaining. Ooh. Did I miss anything? 2 mayor statues. And I got that grave, which I should place, even though I really don't want to. Just move it if I need to. Adjust our hospital funding. And we'll put in some more. Put in some more residential. City Hall. And I put a place for City Hall. Woo! Okay, here we go. Now we're getting some some peoples, some dude bro guys. Alright, let's take a look at what my elementary school says. My elementary school says that that is a woefully inadequate elementary school. So the large elementary will fit there, which is good. Maximum bus fund, age. We already get 21,000 Sims, so I think that this neighborhood's going to work out pretty good. Especially for considering it's all low wealth. And you got to remember that in these cities, to keep track of things like garbage and water and stuff like that, because the garbage can build up relatively quickly and just decimate the possibility of population growth. Oops. So let that last little bit of residential come up. Do I still have any? I have a little bit of demand. What I want is I want this to be completely down. And you can see this is going to have a really positive effect on garbage land. And I will show you that, but not until the next video. So we're at 141,000 Sims, which is good. I'd like, before we come back to here, I'd like to fill, if I can fill these 4 guys up with, like I said, 30, 60, I mean, that's 120, maybe 90,000 Sims in each of these little corners. We might be able to get garbage land completely full, finish off Halifax, and of course, start working on Vancouver, and we'd be roughly at like 450, 500,000 Sims for this region. So that'd be nice. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, and feel free to let me know what you think of the playthrough so far, and I'll see you next time for Let's Play SimCity 4. Thanks for watching.